Everyone, my name is Ovi and I'm the creator of ShipClojure. Once you purchase the product, you will get access to this GitHub repository and there is documentation about how to create your project from it. Once you download the repository, you can just call bbdev and it will guide you through the process of setting up secrets and getting started. So it will check if you set up your secrets, and if that is all done, it will then start the build process. Once we have that running, we can just go to localhost 8080. And here we will see a beautiful landing page. All of these are documented, and the app supports multiple themes that you can use throughout your app and select from them. And as you can see, all of the app is responsive to the theme. Also, the app and the landing pages that we provide are fully responsive. You also have documentation for all of this and how to set up your own landing page and how to change this one. And from here, we can log in with email and password. We also have a forgot password flow and a sign-in with email, which will verify the email of the person. For now, let's just log in with Google. All social authentication providers are supported, and there is documentation about how to set them up. Once you log in, you will be greeted with this beautiful dashboard, and you have example dashboards for CRM, e-commerce, and also for user management. We also have settings pages for all of most of your needs. By the way, this is still fully responsive. ShipClojure has a beautiful UI and it has documentation for most of the usages of that using Christian Johansson's portfolio. You can see all of the components from the UI file where you can see how all of them are used. Also, there is documentation about how to set up pricing and the different props that you can give to these components. All of the UI components are fully compatible on the backend, so they can be server-side rendered for full SEO compatibility. So all of these components can be rendered both on the front end and on the back end using UIX. Let's look at the stack for the entire project. So on the back end, the underlying server used to be Jetty, but now is HTTP Kit. However, it is seamless to go back to Jetty if you need that. The routing is rated because it is the most performant one on the Clojure ecosystem, and it is the most popular. For database, currently we support Postgres, but it is seamless to change to any SQL database like MySQL, AuroraDB, and all of the other ones. For dependency lifecycle, we use Integrant, and this means your entire project will be a collection of dependencies that will spawn everything you need. You just need to do Integrant start, and that will start your entire build process from the front end to the back end, managing your database, your hot reloading for the front end, and all of your dependencies like the database connection, the email client, and the Stripe client. Deployment and secrets, we use Airo, and there is full documentation about how to set this up and also on deployments. Here's, for example, an example of how the database secret configuration will look like. And here is how you set up one of your dependencies. In this case, the database connection. It will take these secrets and it will create the connection URL, and it will create a data source. However, you can also embed it and make it work with environment variables. For emails, I recommend, and the project uses Resend. Resend is used because it provides you with 3,000 free emails per month in the beginning, and it is, once you get over that, you can switch to Amazon SES. Also, ShipClojure provides utilities for you to create beautiful emails from the backend. ShipClojure remakes all of the components from React email into Clojure script so that you can render these on the backend, but also preview them on the front end using Clojure script. Here's, for example, the email used to do a login code. This is used to verify the email of the user. Deployment is automatically set up for you, and there is documentation for how to set up your Fly token, and the deployment will be on fly.io, where you can horizontally scale your application to be globally available, and it's also to have globally available replicas of your database. The front end uses UIX instead of Reagent for rendering React, because this one is the most performant React wrapper and it's the closest one to React semantics. We use Reframe inside the app and Tailwind CSS plus Daisy UI. For the UI, you have a lot of pre-made components and example pages to choose from, as you saw earlier. Once you set up everything and you put a Fly token, your CI/CD pipeline will run the tests in the application for you, do the linting, and once those are successful, it will deploy your application to fly.io, and you can see all of your deployments and the logs for your application in the Fly.io dashboard. For the code structure, the application is structured between Clojure and Clojure script. This is the backend and this is the frontend. And on CLJC, we have things which are common for both the platforms. In this case, are going to be the routing for the frontend, the UI components, the email components, and the schema for the application. So most of the schema is shared between frontend and backend. We use Mali for schema management. Let's explore also the documentation. So ShipClojure comes with a lot of documentation from getting started about how to clone the repository and get updates, to the REPL workflow and how to set up a REPL into the project and how to set up a Clojure script REPL, so for the front end. You have automatic code formatting. On the back end, you have guides of how to set up migrations, secret management, how the routing system works, and how to set up multiple routes and middleware for the application. You have documentation about how to add new blog posts, because the application already comes with a blog post system for SEO and you have full SEO support. And on the front end, you have guides about how to use UIX with Reframe together, how to do navigation, toast notification, and how to set up icons for your application. You have also documentation about authentication, deployment, and some of the decisions for the application.